I just got tired of the corporate bullshit, to be honest with you. Because, like, I was in the corporate world, I was killing it, and I just didn't care about what I was doing. And I kept on thinking, like, man, there's something more out there. And every time I go camping, I'd feel that something. And I was like, man, I could do this full time. Hey, what's up everybody? It's Brian from Colorado Backcountry Adventures. Today I want to show you my rig. It's a 2005 Toyota Tacoma, which I've been living in for the last almost 4 years. And when I first hit the road, it was literally, I was thinking, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to be on the road for like a year, go see all these badass places in Colorado and Utah and just kind of hang out and do a bunch of fun stuff. But then after that year came up, I'm like, I don't want to stop doing this. This is a blast. And so I started hanging out in central Colorado and kind of camping around the Leadville, Buena Vista, Salida area and doing volunteer work for the Forest Service. So with that volunteer work, I'd have to carry a lot of gear with me, and I wanted to keep the roof rack above my topper. I wanted to keep that low profile. I didn't want to compromise my rig and where I could go with any sort of overhead clearance. So I kind of ruled out the camper, the pop-up camper, as a solution for my truck, even though I wanted more room. And I was sleeping diagonally in a 5-foot bed, and I'm 6 feet tall, so I was sleeping diagonally for 2.5 years in that thing. And after a while, I was like, man, I can't do it, my body hurts. And so I decided to do a pop-out extension in the back, which is what we'll get to shortly. So just real quick, I'm running 34-inch tires. These are Toyo Open Country. I've got a 3-inch Old Man Emu lift on there with heavy-duty Dakar leaf springs in the back with that extra add-a-leaf. On the front, just an ARB bumper. I've got an 8,500 Warn winch, 8,500 pound Warn winch back in Kansas waiting for me. I just haven't installed it yet. Then I also got a light bar too. That light bar is going to go up top here. On the driver's side, here, I've got the ARB 2,500 awning, which is the 8-foot by 8-foot awning. This comes out, and then I have a drop-down room for it that's fully enclosed. So that's nice during monsoon season. I'll set up at one spot and just be like chill there for 3 or 4 days. And I'll have this as like my mobile office area that I can like get work in and everything, and then I'll sleep in the topper. So for the roof rack, I went with the Mega Warrior roof rack. It's the biggest one from Yamaka. Or not Yamaka. Yamaka, that's a Jewish holiday. So yeah, I got that. It's really great. I mean, I would carry a ton of firewood up here, and then on top of it too, like my chainsaw and a couple axes and different, like an e-tool and different things that I would need when I was doing Forest Service trail work, which I did pretty much full time March through October every year. So that's why I wanted to keep the roof rack, you know, and the roof profile small, is because some of the trails I go on have really limited overhead clearance. So you just can't get back in there. And you got to think, like, most of the majority of the trails in Colorado are old mining trails. So those mining carts are pretty narrow. And so those trails have a tendency to be narrow too. So the mid-sized truck works well for that. But you compromise, you know, for the convenience factor of being able to go wherever I want, I compromise comfort. So there's no like perfect rig for anybody. I always tell people that. So the solution that I came up with is I just wanted to have it to where I could extend the back of the camper area just about 2 more feet. And so I came up with this self-designed plan to where I would build a little box that slides out on rails and then hangs out over my tailgate here and gives me some extra room. So what this did was it took the 5-foot bed and increased my sleeping area from 5 feet to 6 feet 10 inches. And I just get to camp, slide this out, pull out a few items like my cooler and my water container, and then I've got an extra piece that goes down in the middle where the opening is caused when I slide that out. Whole setup time's like 5 minutes maybe, and it's really comfortable in there. I've got a memory foam mattress, and then a nice big, this is a Cabela's Outfitters blanket, so it's real thick. It's kind of like a bedroll. And it provides some insulation for any cold air that comes up through the bottom of the topper. But I do have the bed rug as well, and that's kind of helps as an insulation. So that bed rug lines the entire inside of my truck bed, and I build everything on top of it. So if you want to take a peek inside there and kind of see how the room, it's pretty spacious. I can sit up and have no problem. It doesn't hit my head, and I'm 6 feet tall. And I built little shelves up on the roof that actually hang down from the screws of the roof rack, and so I just attached little L brackets to it and dropped down some support beams, and then attached it on the side where the the window jamb is for the, or the window frame is for the topper. And that's great. That's where I store all my clothes. And then as far as the lighting solution in there, I've got the BioLite Solar Home 620. It's a 20 watt-hour battery bank that provides 3 lighting pods, and one of which is a motion sensor, so I'll hang that off the back at night as a security measure. And it's great. I mean, it's sufficient for me. It's enough for one person, for me and my dog, to get in there and chill. And then, you know, when I'm done camping for the day and I'm ready to roll in the morning, just pack everything up and break down camp in 5 minutes and be gone. So I used to use this Yuko candelier. It's a 3-candle candle lantern, and it was good, but I was like, you know, I want a little bit more heat than just the 3 candles can provide. And so there was a guy that I found online that made these little, they're candles, but they're powered with like the clean fuel gas. And the other top here actually fell into the container down there, so I got to get that out. But I had these little wicks in there, and they're made out of a certain type of rope that you can use for this sort of purpose. And then you just get that clean fuel and you run that. I'll take the warming tray off the top here, because I can actually, when I want to boil water in the morning for coffee, or if I want to warm up some pizza or something like that when I'm in there, I can get this going, put it down. The little warming tray on top here will get warm enough I can put a skillet on it. And then it's like I heat up my pizza and I'm good to go. So cool. So, but at night I'll take this warming tray off, so that way it doesn't absorb any of the heat that's coming off here. And then it just circulates all around in my topper. And I've had it to where it's like, there was one night that I was here, it was 17 degrees outside and it was 65 inside my topper. Jeez. Yeah. And I do vent it a little bit because there's a little bit of an odor that comes from running this. But if you keep the wicks on them trimmed down pretty small, the odor's not really there. That's awesome. So, yeah, so and I've got this crude little metal shield on here. I'm going to make a better one, but I want to have it to where, you know, one side comes up, so if you want direct lighting, and then go from there. That's awesome. Yeah, but it's a nice solution for it. And then if it's really cold, I've got a window that slides open on both the topper and on the cab. Then I can make like a little donut around it, but just seal it off with like, I just stuff so like a shirt in there, or maybe one of my, I've got this little camp towel, which works great. And then that creates a little seal, and then I'll run the heater inside the truck and warm everything up back here, and you're good. So I've been, like I said, I've been on the road almost 4 years, and this was really ramped up the comfort over the platform bed. All right, so here's how I stay clean in the backcountry, hygiene. Yeah, you know, I always tell people, look, just because I'm living in my truck doesn't mean I turned into like a smelly hippie. So, you know, got to keep the hygiene on point even though you're back here. And so I went with the road shower. This was one of the first prototypes that they came out with. I think they've gone to some different styles from here. But this one's the 5-gallon one, and it's nice because you can heat it up. You can either heat up water when it's cold like this and put it in there, and then I've got a little bike pump on the top here where I pressurize it to create some good flow with the water. Or if it's warm enough out, like if you have the temperature is out like say 70 degrees, but it's full sun, you can get the water in here from like, I'd say 40 degrees up to about 104 in 2 hours. Wow. Yeah, and then, you know, you just pressurize, you're good to go. And with a 5-gallon holding tank, like you got to think like when you're showering with it, it's not constantly going, like it's a nozzle. So like you spray yourself down, lather it up, spray yourself again. It lasts for like 2 or 3 good showers. That's awesome. And then it's a nice water reserve too, so in case you run out of your main drinking water, you got a backup. The only thing I plan to do different now is I'm going to take the back of this entirely off and build a box like what Down to Mob has. Because Phil, your setup's sick. Probably build that probably this winter. So I'll still full-time in this throughout the rest of the year, and then do a little bit of a different design. So I want to show you what I do for storage on the inside. I pretty much try to utilize all the spaces that I have for storing different gear and like quick grab items. So up front here, I'll keep bungee cords, and then also my flip-flops just right here underneath where my feet go for my driving area. Over on the far side, I'll have my 22 rifle, a solar panel, some books, my tarp with some more guidelines to tie it off, and then my backpack. And the backpack is ready to go. Like it has my water purifier, it's got some food, a little backpacking stove, a little fuel canister and all that stuff, so I just have to throw in whatever other items I need, and I'm good. I can be on the trail in like 10 minutes or less. And then so that's the front there. I've got a few more items down there. I've got a loaf of bread, and then also my Dutch oven. So yeah, buddy, let's come in the back here. I know. She's curious. Yeah. So this is where I keep the majority of my stuff right here. This is actually my backpack. It's fully loaded and ready to go. So all I got to do is put my clothes in there, and then I'm good. Underneath the backpack, I've got just some stakes that I'll use. I've got a bunch of extra stakes that I use, whether it's for the awning or the 4-season tent or just my regular tent. And then I'll keep a dirty clothes hamper, which is just an scented plastic bag. That way it doesn't smell. I mean, I have a tendency to hike and stuff, so I can work up a little bit of an odor. Underneath here, I've got, let's see, well, I don't even know what's underneath here. Oh, some more books and a journal. This is actually the film journal for the documentary I'm working on, so we're going to include some of that into the website and talk about different days and what I was thinking about when we were filming. And then I've got my yoga mat, and then my fly fishing boots. My fly fishing waders are back behind the deal here. Then I've got my 2 fly rods right here. I do Tenkara fly fishing, so that's one of my huge passions. And then backpacking, it's just like a bear vault. I just keep some other cooking stuff in there for the moment. And if I go backpacking and if it's in bear country, then I'll use that to store my food. And then this is the drop down room. So for the side awning that I have on the right here on the driver's side. So that's pretty much all this stuff. The other side is for Sierra. She's got a full-on dog bed over there, and she's in there just chilling right now. Sierra, what's up, babe? Come here. Hey, what you got? So there's Sierra. And she pretty much just rules the roost over on that side, and everything over there is dedicated to her. So that's it. That's how I live, and everything that I use for being out on the road full time I carry with me. So this is it, and I can pack up and go to a new location in 5 minutes or less, and I freaking love it. So thanks for checking out the video. If you want to check out what I've been up to, I've been camping in this. I also camp in a 4-season tent with the wood stove in the wintertime and travel all over Colorado and Utah and obviously Arizona and New Mexico. So check me out, Colorado Backcountry Adventures here on YouTube and also on Instagram, and we'll see you on the road. Wick and punched a hole in the top. Yeah.
No way.
That is super cool.
And that heats your whole camper.
Yeah, and these will stay lit for like 15 hours until they're out. Yeah.
So
you don't
need that big camper.
Yeah, you don't need a big fancy heater.
I can go anywhere with this thing. It's the same as a small truck.
That is super cool. I like this. And your fuel economy is probably amazing.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Wow, that's incredible.
So,
that is freaking awesome.
And it's just, it works out real well. And then from the ceiling here, if you look, I put drop down shelving, and that's where I put my clothes and stuff, and that's just attached to the screws on the other side of my roof rack.
This is awesome. So great. And this whole thing sucks in.
Yep, it just goes right in, and I shut the tailgate and shut the topper back, and I'm out.
Like little runners.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I've got there's 3 running tracks underneath here. It just slides in and slides back out.
This is great.